What up, it's your man Big Al here, V101, and a really cool thing happening for Black History Month. This is the month that's going down now, and we're talking movies. We have some folks from the Crocker Art Museum. Hello, folks. How you doing?
Hey,
How are you?
what's up?
All right. And for the record, if you state your name and what you do.
Yes, I'm Stacy Shonut Hendrick, and I'm the Director of Education at the Crocker Art Museum.
Hi, I'm Vincent D. Miles. I'm the director of CineSoul Sacramento, and I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. See, now we talking about some good stuff here, and I'm a movie nut, so I'm loving this right now. So there's a big event at Crocker, and for Black History, we're talking movies. Speak on that for a little bit.
Well, we're really excited to partner with CineSoul and the Sojourner Truth Multicultural Museum, as well as the library, to present a film series. We're moving into our third of a 4-part series, and we're really excited about it.
Good. So I know since it's already started, you guys went right ahead starting February with the movies, but we'll talk about the movies that you've shown so far and what you plan on doing later.
Well, we started out with the opening film was Selma,
Nice.
which was obviously about Dr. Martin Luther King and the whole march across with the bridge and the whole civil rights movement. It was just a well-done film, well-acted, well-directed, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Very poignant also, and especially with a lot of things that's going on today, you know, with history and some of the things that are going on.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important, you know, especially with the arts, is to, you know, obviously entertain, but also to educate, because a lot of people still don't know the history.
No, yeah, exactly. So, and there were other movies as well, or?
Yeah, so we, like I said, we led off with Selma, and then, of course, we had to make it a little bit lighter, and then we moved to Shaft from there. So we had to do the blaxploitation thing there.
You gotta do it. You gotta talk about the
we
era.
had to do Shaft.
You gotta talk about the era.
Yeah, Shaft. I mean, when Stacy and I collaborated, we talked about, obviously, there's so many wonderful films during the whole, you know, during the blaxploitation era.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, but you had to do Shaft. That's just, you know, that's a quintessential blaxploitation film. It was a lot, obviously, a lot of fun to watch. One of the things I enjoy is the fashion, the language, the other things, the culture, whole that you know, that whole '70s look and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a whole culture by itself.
It is, and I think one of the things about Shaft that people don't know, and one of the things we do, which makes this film series, you know, important to the museum and as a program, is talk about some of the behind-the-scenes nature of the film. So Shaft is a good example. Shaft was made for a little under $1 million, but it grossed like $7 million for MGM and brought MGM back. So it was like going into the dumpster. If it was not for Shaft, there may not have been an MGM after 1975. So that's some of the history that we're talking about, that a lot of people don't realize the contributions that African Americans have made. So
that's pretty cool. You get the actual showing, and then the history lesson behind the making of the movie. That's pretty cool.
Isaac Hayes made history with the Academy Award for that film, as well as some Grammys. So
well, I think what's also what I love about one of the reasons why I love Shaft too. If you think about superheroes for African Americans back then, you know, and it was nice to have with Shaft, to have a character that wasn't a pimp or a drug addict or someone of that stature.
Right.
You know, here you have this cat that's there. Notice I said cat.
Yeah.
That was, you know, here he is, this super suave, you know, detective going around and saying things to people that normally other people wouldn't say, but that was Shaft. And like I say, he didn't have to wear, you know, a cape or anything like that. You know, he had his, you know, decked out leather and the whole 9 yards and everything. So, you know, it was great for even as a kid myself to see like, wow, that's a smooth cat right there. Somebody I'd like to be like.
Yeah, that's really good. So there's other movies that's going to be a part of it as well, right?
yeah, I think this is my favorite one coming up, Coolie High.
Oh.
I just love that movie growing up. I know, right?
That's
It really, I remember seeing that movie over and over again, and it's one of those high school dramas, you know, so it's appealing in just so many different ways, you know, people with friends and you remember that high school crew you had, you know, it's a great movie. And again, another film very important historically in the sort of history of African American filmmaking. So
well, you also think about some of the actors that were in it whose careers was, you think Glenn Turman, who played the pretty much the lead.
Yeah.
You had Garrett Morris also in it as well, and then Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, which I thought was actually rather funny because my earlier career as an actor, I had an audition when I was down in L.A.
Yeah.
And I walked into this building and everything. So I was nervous, but you go do your thing. And then come walking out as I'm going into the building was no other than Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to get this role.
Well, welcome back, Carter.
Yeah. But and here's this movie that really depicted the 60s, and it was made in 1975 actually. But again, you think about the culture, the music, the whole nine yards, the Motown soundtrack, and things of that sort. And it's like I tell people, we had in the 80s, we had Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Okay, then you think about Cooley High, which was kind of like our version, meaning the African American culture version of that film.
Yeah.
But just a little bit more drama to it, of course, as well.
Right. Because it not only depicted what was going on in school, but outside of school, on the perimeter, what was going on in real life,
especially in Chicago.
Yes, absolutely.
Place you're familiar with.
I'm very familiar with Chicago. Chi-town all day.
Well, just so you know, that was shot in Chicago.
Yes. It's some awesome stuff. So, and I think there's another movie as well.
There is. The final film is Get on the Bus. So you couldn't have a Black History film, series without something from Spike Lee.
Exactly.
And there was so much to choose from related to Spike Lee. We have,
Malcolm
Do the Right
X.
Thing. We could go all day. And I think one year we're going to have to just do a Spike Lee series. But Get on the Bus seemed really poignant because of all the marches we've been having lately. It relates back to the first film. Selma really talked about the voting rights, and it talks about people seizing power and really speaking up. And it just seemed like a perfect thing to do during this climate. And again, another phenomenal ensemble cast. People who people will know. Andre Braugher is in that film.
O.C. Davis, the late great O.C. Davis was in it. Charles S. Dutton. There's
so many greats in that.
So many other greats in it. Actually, even Bernie Mac was also made an appearance in it as well.
Yes, right. That's right.
Another Chi-Town brother right there.
Chi-Town brother, yes.
Yeah.
And another sort of behind-the-scenes fact that people don't really know, too, is that film was totally produced by African-American men. So Will Smith gave money to make that film. And Spike Lee could have done it through, corporate dollars, but he thought it was important for Black men to actually, fund that film. So I think 6 to 7 African-American men came together and funded the production of that film. So it's important on two levels.
Yeah, speaking of which, now, the day that was released was actually the 16th of October, 1995. It was released in 96. It was basically released 1 year later than the day they had the Million Man March, which was October 16, 1995. So I thought that was, very poignant for Spike Lee to do that, to celebrate, this positive moment for, African American history, and especially for for Black men doing something, being seen in the light of a positive role.
Very good stuff. See, you can get movies, you can get the education, behind the scenes information, all kinds of. I had no idea Will Smith, for example, helped produce Get on the Bus. That's pretty cool. So you get to see all that at the Crocker Art Museum this month. All the dates and times will be on the website, I imagine?
Yes. So the next 2 Thursdays is when the film series is happening. And so, you can find it all at www.crockerartmuseum.org.
All right. crockerartmuseum.org. Get everything. Find out about Black History Month, the movie version. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Such a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.